The Karate Kid, 2010, reignited the spirit of the beloved franchise, introducing a new generation to the inspiring journey of courage, discipline, and mentorship. With Jaden Smith taking on the role of the young martial artist and Jackie Chan delivering a heartfelt performance as his mentor, the film became a worldwide hit. But what has happened to the cast 15 years later, in 2025? Some have continued to shine in Hollywood, while others have taken unexpected paths, facing personal struggles or stepping away from the spotlight. Join us as we take a closer look at where the stars of the Karate Kid are now. Jaden Smith, born on July 8, 1998, took on the role of Dre Parker in The Karate Kid in 2010 at the age of 12. Dre is a young boy who moves to China with his mother and faces severe bullying. As he learns Kung Fu to defend himself, he grows both physically and emotionally, learning valuable life lessons along the way. Jaden, the son of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, grew up in the public eye, which brought immense pressure and challenges to his personal life. His early career was filled with high expectations, especially following the success of The Pursuit of Happiness. Despite his fame, Jaden struggled with self-identity and the weight of his family's legacy. His relationships, including a high-profile romance with Sarah Snyder, ended amidst public scrutiny. Jaden's career in music, which he pursued with varying degrees of success, further highlighted his struggle to establish his own identity. His issues with mental health became public, and his rebellious actions, including controversial social media posts, led to public debates about his personal growth. By 2025, Jaden, now 26, has moved away from mainstream fame, focusing more on his music career and activism, but his journey has been one of self-discovery, filled with both triumphs and struggles, as he continues to forge a path independent of his family's shadow. Taraji P. Henson, born on September 11, 1970, played Sherry Parker in The Karate Kid in 2010 at the age of 40. Sherry is Dre's devoted mother, who relocates to China with her son in the hope of providing him with a better life. Taraji's role was one of strength and love, but her real-life journey has been filled with both personal triumphs and painful challenges. She faced a tumultuous relationship with her son's father, which eventually led to a painful breakup and emotional strain. Taraji's rise to fame was not without hardships. In the early years of her career, she struggled financially and faced discrimination in Hollywood. Her hard work eventually paid off, leading to her iconic roles in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Empire. However, even with fame, she faced inner turmoil, grappling with anxiety, depression, and the pressures of maintaining a perfect public image. Her relationships, both personal and professional, were often affected by these challenges, and her struggle to find balance in her life persisted. Taraji's public persona as a strong woman often masked the private battles she faced. By 2025, Taraji, now 54, has remained a successful actress, but the weight of her past relationships, mental health struggles, and the pressure of being a public figure continue to shape her personal life. Jackie Chan, born on April 7, 1954, played the role of Mr. Han in The Karate Kid in 2010 at the age of 56. Mr. Han is a wise and patient kung fu master who becomes a mentor to Dre Parker, teaching him valuable lessons not only in martial arts but in life. Jackie Chan's real-life story is equally filled with struggle and resilience. Growing up in a harsh environment in Hong Kong, with an abusive father and a distant relationship with his mother, Jackie endured significant emotional pain early in life. His rise to fame as an action star was accompanied by personal sacrifices, including a rocky marriage to actress Joan Lin and the public's discovery of his infidelity. Despite achieving international success, Jackie's career in Hollywood often felt unfulfilled, as he struggled to balance his traditional values with the demands of fame. His son, J.C. Chan, was arrested in 2014 for drug-related charges, further adding strain to their already complicated relationship. Throughout his career, Jackie has experienced physical tolls from his stunt work, dealing with multiple injuries that have left him with a deteriorating body. By 2025, Jackie, now 70, continues to work in films but has largely distanced himself from the limelight, reflecting on the costs of his fame and the personal sacrifices he made along the way. Wenwen Han, born on August 24, 1995, portrayed Mei Ying in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 15. Mei Ying was a kind, talented violinist who introduced Dre to Chinese culture, becoming a supportive friend and an integral part of his journey. After the film's release, Wenwen's rise to fame was rapid, but it came with intense pressure. She was thrust into the limelight at a young age, and the demands of Hollywood stardom proved overwhelming. As a Chinese actress in an industry that often favored Western talent, Wenwen felt isolated and struggled with maintaining her career. She tried to balance acting with her passion for music, but both were constantly in conflict. She became disillusioned with the industry's shallow expectations and found herself grappling with the harsh realities of fame. Wenwen's personal life was no easier. A toxic and public relationship with a co-star added further strain. The couple's breakup, marked by media scrutiny and emotional turmoil, left her heartbroken. As her career slowed, Wenwen distanced herself from the public eye, choosing to focus on her music and education. By 2025, Wenwen, now 29, lives in China, away from the spotlight, quietly pursuing music and trying to heal from the trauma she experienced in her teenage years. Mohan Kapur, born on October 27, 1965, played Mr. Han in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 45. Mr. Han, a kind and wise mentor to Dre, offered guidance and solace during Dre's difficult transition to life in China. Off-screen, Mohan's path was filled with challenges that were far from the success his role in The Karate Kid might have suggested. His transition from Bollywood to Hollywood was met with skepticism, and although he had been successful in India, he struggled to replicate that success in the West. His Hollywood career never took off as expected, and he found himself caught in a cycle of auditions and small roles. On top of his professional struggles, Mohan faced personal turmoil. His marriage began to deteriorate as his career faltered, and the long hours spent away from his family strained the relationship beyond repair. His wife, frustrated with his constant absences and lack of progress in his career, eventually filed for divorce. This caused him deep emotional pain, especially as he had always valued family above all else. His relationship with his children also suffered, and he spent years trying to mend the rift that grew between them. The emotional toll of these failures led Mohan into a period of depression, and he struggled to regain his self-worth. By 2025, at 59, Mohan lives a quiet life in India, far from the Hollywood dream that never materialized. Rongguang Yu, born on August 30, 1958, played Master Li in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 52. Master Li, the cold and ruthless kung fu instructor, taught his students with a strict no-mercy philosophy, which made him a formidable antagonist. Off-screen, Rongguang's career in Hollywood was not as illustrious as many had hoped. Despite being an accomplished actor in China, he struggled to find roles that reflected his true talent in Hollywood, often being typecast as a villain. His success in Chinese cinema did not translate into the global recognition he had hoped for. This professional struggle caused immense frustration, and Rongguang's personal life began to unravel as a result. His marriage, which once seemed solid, crumbled under the pressure of his career and his emotional distance. The stress of constantly trying to prove himself in the industry led to a growing reliance on alcohol, which only worsened his relationship with his wife and children. The divorce was messy, leaving him estranged from his family, and Rongguang found himself alone, consumed by feelings of failure. The bitterness of unfulfilled dreams and fractured relationships weighed heavily on him. By 2025, at 66, Rongguang lives a lonely existence in Beijing, struggling with the regrets of his past and the realization that his career never reached the heights he once dreamed of. Zhensu Wu, born on June 16, 1957, played Mei Ying's dad in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 53. As a traditional and protective father, his character emphasized the values of discipline, respect, and cultural heritage. However, Zhensu's personal life has been far from peaceful. Though he appeared to be a solid family man, his strict, controlling nature created tension in his relationships, especially with his daughter Meiying. He and his wife, whose name is not widely known, struggled to balance the demands of family life with the immense pressure Zhensu placed on Meiying. This constant stress eventually led to a deeply strained marriage. As his daughter's career started to take off, the emotional strain on the family grew, and the relationship suffered irreparable damage. Zhensu was further haunted by the societal expectations placed on him as a father, which led him into bouts of depression. In addition, he faced personal struggles that included his own frustrations with the direction his life had taken, often feeling caught between honoring tradition and the evolving world around him. By 2025, Zhensu, now 67, lives in relative obscurity, his personal life a series of regrets and broken relationships that could never reconcile with the rigid ideals he had lived by. Shijia Lü, born on March 14, 1995, played Liang in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 15. Liang was a bully who harassed Dre with aggression and competitiveness, reflecting the harsh, unforgiving training methods of his mentor, Master Li. Despite his role as a villain, the complexity of Liang's character goes far beyond his actions on screen. Behind the aggression, he was a deeply insecure teenager trying to fulfill the expectations placed on him by a domineering coach. His own life at home was equally tumultuous, as he lived under the oppressive rule of a father who demanded perfection and a mother who was emotionally distant. His constant need to prove himself both in martial arts and in life led to an internal battle with self-worth. His relationship with Master Li became toxic, pushing him further into a spiral of anger and resentment. In his personal life, Shijia's family was engulfed in conflict. His parents' marriage was on the brink of collapse, filled with constant arguments and misunderstandings, leaving him with a sense of abandonment and loneliness. By 2025, at the age of 30, Shijia's career had been defined by a few fleeting roles that failed to make a lasting impact, leaving him financially unstable. Adrienne Norris, born on October 18, 1953, portrayed the woman from Detroit in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 57. Known for her warmth and supportiveness, she provided Dre with a sense of familiarity and comfort while he was away from home. However, her personal life was full of deep struggles and heartbreaks. As a single mother, she faced immense challenges raising Dre alone, particularly after the collapse of her own tumultuous marriage. Her relationship with Dre's father had been strained for years, and their divorce left emotional scars that she could never fully heal. Adrienne's financial instability and the constant pressure of providing for Dre led to sleepless nights and a deep sense of failure. Despite her best efforts, she found herself emotionally distant from her son at times, unable to fully connect due to the exhaustion of her own unresolved trauma. Her relationship with men was no better. After her divorce, she entered into a series of short-lived, toxic relationships that further damaged her trust in love and companionship. In 2025, at 71, Adrienne lives quietly, often reflecting on the dreams she once had for herself that were never realized. Though she continues to support Dre from afar, she struggles with the haunting reality of a life full of unfulfilled hopes and dreams. Tess Dukrae, born on January 29, 1979, portrayed the history teacher, Tess Lü, in The Karate Kid, 2010, at the age of 31. Tess was a compassionate educator who helped Dre understand the importance of Chinese culture and history. Although she was patient, wise, and kind, her personal life was plagued with a series of disappointments and unfulfilled desires. Tess had always aspired to be more than just a teacher. She dreamed of making a difference on a larger scale, but her professional life never reached the heights she had hoped for. In her personal relationships, Tess struggled with finding meaningful connections. She was in an unfulfilling long-term relationship that ended in heartbreak when her partner cheated on her, causing her to retreat emotionally. Tess also faced challenges with her own identity, feeling the weight of societal expectations placed on a woman in her 30s. Her desire for family and stability remained unfulfilled, as she found herself growing more isolated. Tess's emotional struggles were compounded by the increasing pressure to succeed in her career and her deep dissatisfaction with her unremarkable existence. By 2025, Tess was still in her 40s but had withdrawn from the professional world, choosing instead to live a quiet life, far from the expectations she once had for herself. Who is your favorite character from The Karate Kid? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.